Okay, so listeners sent in a whole bunch of stuff about this company, QB.KP, articles, research papers, even some forum threads. It's everywhere. People want to know, is this just another robot or is something bigger happening here?
Yeah, it's
I
interesting.
think it's time for a deep dive.
Yeah, what's intriguing is they're not building just a robot. It's more like a whole platform. Seems like they're trying to connect that super specialized robotics research world.
Make it easier.
Yeah, exactly. With growing communities of
Yeah.
like robot enthusiasts, I guess you could say.
Right, because like the stuff people sent in, it's everyone from university labs to startups to like,
It's a lot.
yeah, and the makers, right? The people building robots in their garage for fun. How does one company even do that, cater to all those different people?
That's the point, right? It's flexible. So QB.KP has this base robot, and it can be as simple or as complex as you need.
Oh, that's cool.
So you can use it for basic programming in a classroom or some really advanced AI stuff in a lab.
Oh, so it's like those build your own computer kits?
Yeah. You get the basics, and then you can like swap out parts, upgrade it, and really make it your own.
That's a good analogy. But the thing that makes them stand out, I think, is the AI stuff and how it works with open source stuff. They're using something called ROS2.
ROS2.
It's like the
Yeah.
software for robotics.
Oh, okay.
And they make it work perfectly with their hardware. So researchers, developers, they can just get started, on what they want to do instead of spending months just on the basic setup.
Okay, so two things that sound important there. First, if ROS2 is used everywhere,
Yeah,
then there's probably already tons of code people can use, right? Like just plug it into these robots.
exactly. It's a huge community on for schools and independent developers for sure.
Cool. And second, this whole AI thing, we keep saying AI-powered robots.
Right.
What does that even mean here?
It's about these robots learning and adapting on their own. They have sensor fusion, which lets the robots take data from different sources like cameras, LiDAR.
Okay. Even EEG brainwave sensors.
Hold on, brainwave sensors. Like, are we talking robots that can read minds?
Not really mind reading, not yet anyway.
Yeah.
But it's a big deal that they've included EEG. It shows they're thinking about the future, how humans and robots will interact.
Wow.
Robots that respond to what we're thinking, our emotions, even learning from our brain activity.
It's kind of freaky if you think about it.
Yeah, that's why we're doing a deep dive on it, right?
It's true.
QB.KP is really pushing the limits of robotics.
Yeah.
And we need to understand the good and the maybe not so good that comes with that.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so we know QB.KP is building some really advanced robot stuff, powerful and adaptable. But let's talk about, like, the real world. Who are they actually making this for? Educators, startups, those garage robot people, what are they going to do with these robots?
It helps if you think about the problems QB.KP is solving, right, for each group. Like educators, they always struggle with access.
Like getting their hands on it.
Yeah, robotics labs are expensive,
Yeah.
to build and to keep running. And that limits what students can do, what they can learn.
So you're saying these robots could make it so more students can actually work with robots even in high school?
Exactly. Instead of just reading about it, they're programming AI robots. It's a huge learning opportunity, especially with a platform that can, grow with their skills.
Oh, okay. That makes sense for schools.
Yeah.
But what about startups? How does this help them?
Startups need speed, right? And resources.
Yeah.
Building a robot from nothing takes forever. And it's super expensive,
Yeah.
especially for a small team.
Yeah.
So QB.KP is giving them a shortcut.
So instead of like a year on hardware,
Exactly.
they just get a QB.KP robot and they can jump right to their software or AI stuff.
That's it. It's like a blank slate for robotics.
I like that.
Some startups are even using these robots to prototype robotics as a service applications. Did you see that?
Robotics as a service? I don't think so. What is that?
So think about it. Instead of a company having to build all their own robots,
Oh.
they could just subscribe to a service
Oh, okay.
that provides robots, AI-powered robots, ready to do whatever task.
Oh, so like a store could rent a bunch of robots to help with like stocking shelves or something during the holidays?
Exactly. Or construction, right, to do those dangerous jobs.
Oh, yeah.
The QB.KP platform is so flexible, startups can really customize these robots for all sorts of things.
That makes a lot of sense, especially now businesses need to be fast and efficient.
Absolutely. And it's not just those industries. QB.KP could be huge for autonomous driving research, too.
Yeah. They mentioned self-driving cars, but I don't totally get it. They're not building little cars, are they?
No, it's not that.
Yeah.
Think about the sensor fusion we talked about, how these robots use data from different places, cameras, LiDAR.
Oh, right, the brainwave thing.
Yeah.
But how does that help with self-driving cars?
It's about the data, the algorithms.
Yeah.
Researchers can test their self-driving software on these robots.
Oh.
So instead of, putting a car on the road,
And it crashes.
yeah, exactly, they can do simulations, get the data, make their algorithms better, way safer.
It's like a middle step
Right.
between the computer and the real world.
The robots are a really valuable tool for that, experimenting, testing, before you have an actual car.
That's smart and probably a lot cheaper than crashing a bunch of cars. So that's education, startups, self-driving cars. Who else is QB.KP targeting?
Right.
We can't forget the makers. Those are the people who like build robots in their garage just because, right? Seems like QB.KP would be perfect for them.
Totally. This could be huge for makers. I mean, robotics has always been tough to get into. You need to know a lot, need expensive equipment, lots of space. QB.KP changes all that.
So they're making it so anyone can get into robotics,
Yeah.
not just companies with tons of money.
Exactly. It's exciting, When people can experiment with really advanced tech, you never know what they'll come up with. We've seen it before.
Like with computers, people built those in their garages, and look what happened. The internet, phones, everything changed.
Yeah. And the same thing could happen with robots. Someone who loves robots, tinkering with AI robots, and easy as making a website now.
I get it. It sounds really cool. But we've been super positive, right? Are there any downsides to this tech being everywhere?
That's the big question. More access is good, but we have to think about, what could go wrong? Like, what about the ethics of having robots everywhere making decisions?
Like in the movies, when robots take over.
Well, maybe not that extreme. But seriously, it's powerful tech. We have to use it responsibly. Companies, the government, everyone needs to think about this as it keeps growing.
Good point. So we've learned a lot about QB.KP, their platform, the tech, all the things they're doing, and we're just scratching the surface, right? This could change things in so many ways, good and maybe bad.
Definitely something to watch. The next few years will be interesting. Will QB.KP do what they're saying? How will the world change?
Well, listeners, that's our deep dive into QB.KP and their robot revolution. Hope you enjoyed it.
And hey, if any of you build something awesome with a QB.KP robot, let us know. We might feature you in a future episode.
For sure. Until next time, keep learning, and we'll see you on the next deep dive. Okay, so listeners sent in a whole bunch of stuff about this company, QB.KP, articles, research papers, even some forum threads. It's everywhere. People want to know, is this just another robot or is something bigger happening here?
Yeah, it's interesting.
I think it's time for a deep dive.
Yeah, what's intriguing is they're not building just a robot. It's more like a whole platform. Seems like they're trying to connect that